this has been a good series so far for the Phillies. Ben Francisco always hits the Rangers well, and on Friday night he hit a 2-run home run, then erased a 1-run deficit and gave the Phillies the lead for good. Why? Because Raul Ibanez then led off with the first home run of the year by a left-hander against C.J. Wilson. Then they left things in the hands of Roy Halladay, and the Doc certainly delivered. 8 strong innings. He struck out 7, and he used all of his pitches, including a very good curve, to then lead to Ryan Madson. And Madson came on, and he pitched a heck of a ninth, but his catcher did even better. Threw out David Murphy trying to steal to finish off the ball game. So the Phillies took game 1. Game 2, well, game 2 also was about the long ball. Ryan Howard ended an 0 for 23 drought. He hadn't homered or picked up an RBI in 8 days. Well, that gave the Phillies a 1-0 lead, and that's really all Cliff Lee needed against his old team. Double digits in strikeouts for Lee. He even stole a base while he was on the base paths. It was his second one in a Phillies uniform. He was going up, he was going down, and then he gave way to Ryan Madson. This was a huge double play that helped Madson get through the 9th inning, and the Phillies had taken game 2, and Cliff Lee had picked up his first victory since April 14th. So now this afternoon, the Phillies will go for the series sweep against the Texas Rangers here at Citizens Bank Park. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, along with Chris Wheeler. Sarge will be along a little later on. Well, so far, so good, Wheels, for the Phillies and their pitchers. They have been outstanding during this weekend series.
Boy, they sure have, Tom. And Cliff Lee, Roy Halladay, what tremendous jobs they both have done against a pretty good hitting team. Now, the Rangers don't have a couple of their guys, but they have a lot of people in the lineup that can really, really hurt you. Now, last night, Lee was just masterful. And this guy is so much fun to watch because he enjoys the game so much. Look at this ball go off his shoulder. They get an out on it. It was Colby Lewis, a pitcher, who did it, and Lee was just fine after that. Had a tremendous cutter. He used a curveball. There's a high fastball for a strikeout. Fastball on the outside part of the plate. Got a base hit. He stole a base, and he just had a lot of fun in the game last night. Now, it started out with Roy Halladay on Friday night. These guys have only given up 2 earned runs in the 2 games so far here this weekend. The walks, well, they just don't walk that many, and they get a lot of strikeouts. They're just fun to watch pitch.
Well, and Roy Oswalt's been fun to watch here at Citizens Bank Park since he's put on a Phillies uniform. Now, he may not go as deep as Halladay and Lee, but he's feeling pretty good going out there today.
Yeah, he is, Tom. He won't be able to go as deep as you just said. You know, they're hoping maybe 90 pitches, 6, maybe even 7 innings for Roy Oswalt, but he loves to pitch here in this ballpark. Look what he is, 10-0. Minute Maid, of course, he's the best there because he was with the Astros for all those years, but when he would pitch here, he would pitch very, very well against the Phillies and also against the Reds at Great American. His last start here was back in April on a cold night against the Florida Marlins. Very, very well in that game before he hurt himself running down the first baseline on a bunt. Hurt his back a little bit, and that really has set him back throughout the last few weeks, along with returning to his home in Mississippi. But the Phillies expect good things out of Roy Oswalt here this afternoon, especially the way he pitched against the Cardinals the other night. There are his overall numbers in this ballpark. Very few walks, lots of strikeouts, and a perfect record of 10-0.
Well, and he has faced the Texas Rangers quite a bit because the Houston Astros interleague partner, the Texas Rangers. So we'll see what he has in store this afternoon against the Rangers, and in front of this sold-out crowd, he'll be opposed by left-hander Matt Harrison, who can be in the strike zone or he can be way out of the strike zone. Well, no doubt when you're on the mound, you've got to be ready. You've got to get yourself in good position to get those comebackers. Roy Halladay knows that. So does Cliff Lee. We'll see if it happens again. It's happened in the first 2 games when we return. Phillies national anthem on an overcast afternoon. They did a great job in front of this sold-out crowd. Roy Oswalt was out very early getting set to warm up for today's ball game, so that's a good sign. He's raring to go. And the starting nine, all the little kids who got a chance to get out there, enjoyed themselves, got an autograph, and hey, look who's back. Well, he's back in uniform, not back with the Phillies just yet, but Chase Utley has returned from his rehab assignments, and Chase's numbers against interleague play, very good. And hopefully the next time the Phillies face an American League team, Chase will be in the starting lineup. He was scheduled to meet with Dr. Cicotti today and Scott Sheridan, the Phillies athletic trainer. And hopefully by tomorrow there'll be some good news. Let's take a look at the starting lineup today for the Rangers. It's brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. Leading it off at shortstop, Elvis Andrus. David Murphy, the left fielder, bats second. Ian Kinsler hits third, followed by Michael Young and Adrian Beltre. Mitch Moreland drops to the sixth spot today. And in the bottom third of Napoli, Gentry, and Harrison. And they will face Phillies right-hander Roy Oswalt, who has a resume against the Rangers because of all those interleague starts when he was with the Astros. Wheels.
He sure does, Tom. He did pitch quite a bit against the Texas Rangers. He's a lot like Roy Halladay. He doesn't have great lifetime numbers against this team because they can really hit. And you see what he's done so far in his 6 starts. He had a really good outing the other night in St. Louis. I think he even surprised himself, the command of his fastball. 10-0 lifetime here in this ballpark with the Astros and the Phillies, and career against Texas overall 4-6, an earned run average of 4.54.
Last start here at this ballpark April 15th against the Marlins.
Nissan keys to this afternoon's game. Tom's already said how it's kind of overcast and chilly right now. Well, how about a sweep against a really good team? And that's what they're going to try and do here this afternoon. And well, with Roy Oswalt, they're hopefully going to get 6 or 7 innings, somewhere around maybe 90 pitches is the idea.
Oh, Elvis Andrus leads it off, and he takes the first pitch for a strike. So we're underway. That was a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. I know Oswalt's velocity has been part of the topic of conversation the last several weeks. He's going to be probably 92 most of the day. He'll hit 94 from time to time. And a swing and a miss, and there's 93, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, he was fine the other night, too. Somewhere, somebody got the idea this guy's 95, 96. He's right in the area of where he is very successful. At 92, 93, spotting his fastball, using his changeup and curveball.
Andrus is 2 for 7 so far in the series. Overall hitting .266 with a couple of home runs, 16 RBIs. Not normally a leadoff hitter for the Rangers, but he's been put in this spot during the course of this weekend. Change up low, 2-2. Phillies starters have allowed just 2 earned runs in the 16 innings they've been out there this weekend. Roy Halladay allowed 2 in 8 innings on Friday. Cliff Lee didn't allow a run in 8 innings last night.
And Halladay gave up a run early on the double steal and a run late, and that's been it so far.
There's Doc, who picked up the victory on Friday night. It's one of those nights where he had everything working, just like yesterday with Cliff Lee.
Boy, when they pitch like they did, you don't need to get them a lot of runs, although the Phillies, they have to start scoring more, and they know it.
Line drive, one hot pick by Valdez.
Ooh.
And he hurries the throw. 1 away. Boy, oh boy, that ball got out on him quickly.
Well, he wasn't sure what to do with that thing right there, whether to take it straight on or take it to the side.
Well, there's Cliff Lee, second time in MLB history that a pitcher has reached double-digit strikeouts versus a team for which he had pitched in the World Series the previous year. Ryan Doran.
Ryan
back
Doran.
in 1961.
What you thought about Ryan Doran as a relief pitcher a lot as he got on in his career, but boy, that's some start that he had there. And Ryan Sandberg, of course, is the Phillies AAA manager right now, was named after Ryan Doran.
I did not know that.
I didn't either, but when all those stories came out about Sandberg this year, that was part of the story, that he was named after Ryan Doran, who could throw about as hard as anybody. Oh, but he was a little wild.
2-0 the count to David Murphy. And a change up on the outside corner, 2-1. Well, Cliff Lee yesterday not only pitched 8 scoreless innings, He also got a hit and stole a base. It was the first stolen base in the regular season for a Phillies pitcher since 2009, but it was Cliff's second stolen base as a Philly. He had one in the postseason in 2009.
Oh, yeah.
Against the Rockies and Ubaldo Jimenez.
Well, he's a complete player.
Opposite way, Ibanez on the run, and he won't get there. It's a fair ball. And Murphy will pull into second, and Ibanez bobbled it, but Murphy will still hold up at second. So a 1-out double.
One last thing on Ryan Duran. If people are saying, is that the same Ryan Duran that pitched for the Phillies? It is. 63 through 65 he was here.
And at that point, I guess he was a relief pitcher.
Yeah. And that's what I remember him as.
So Murphy with his second hit of the series, and here's Ian Kinsler. Kinsler's 1 for 8, or was 1 for 8 the first 2 games. And overall is 1 for his last 19. At the knees, a strike. It's 0-1.
Well, these guys are due to hurt somebody too offensively, just the way the Phillies are. Look at that. You know, they have really been struggling, and you know, they're -2 of their big hitters.
Oh, and Kinsler's hit by that pitch. That was a pitch that just kept on riding in against him. So he's aboard. Runners on first and second here in the first. Ron Washington up to the top step just to see if Kinsler's okay.
Yeah, some concern right there for one of their better players who's been in a real scuffle lately. When we saw him a couple years ago, the Phillies couldn't get Kinsler out, but here it hit him on the elbow. No wonder it hurts. Oh, right on that left elbow. Can ask Placido Polanco about that.
Jamie Reed's the athletic trader. He was up next to Ron Washington. Polanco was hit last April by Tim Hudson, and it really hurt him the whole year. So now Michael Young with 2 on and 1 out, and Young fouls the first pitch into the glove of Sardina.
Boy, this guy can hit. Just seeing him over the weekend, lifetime against Roy, has a homer and 7 runs batted in. He is solid. Hits it all over the place.
He's 3rd in the American League at hitting at .341. Back toward the middle. Oswalt has it. Waits for somebody to cover second. There's 1. There's 2. In time. 1 for 3. Boy, Oswalt was ready to fire. And it's up to the position player to get to the bag, but the ball was hit so hard that it took a few extra moments for that double play to begin. Oswalt pumps once, throws the second time, and completes the double play. The Charlie Emanuel starting lineup brought to you by Xfinity. Only from Comcast. Leading it off at shortstop, Jimmy Rollins. Wilson Valdez bats second. Placido Polanco hits third. Ryan Howard is the cleanup batter, followed by Ben Francisco, the right fielder. Raul Ibanez hits 6th. Hitting 7th is John Mayberry. Dane Sardina, the catcher, bats 8th. And batting 9th and pitching is Roy Oswalt. And they'll face left-hander Matt Harrison, a 25-year-old for the Rangers, who throws hard but sometimes doesn't know where it's going.
Yeah, his walk strikeout numbers are not good. You see right there, he 39 hits in 46 innings and 23 walks and 30 strikeouts. Bad ratio.
How about lefties hitting .318 against him?
Yeah, look forward to see why. You know, he must not have a real effective breaking ball.
Liner is straightaway center.
Now, before the pitch is thrown, the pitcher always turns around and finds out who's covering. Now, it looks like Valdez because he breaks quicker to the bag. But that ball was hit so hard, as Tom described it, he really had a double pump. Now, see, there you go. Great shot right there. You see, he points to Valdez. That's before the pitch is thrown. And that's so there's no miscommunication. If the ball's hit back to the pitcher, he knows which infielder is going to be coming to the bag. The shortstop usually can get there easier because he's flashing across. The second baseman, when he comes in, is at a tougher angle.
Well, it worked out for the Phillies because if that ball wasn't picked by Oswalt, it might have gone into center field. Valdez takes a strike. No balls in 1 strike. Valdez 0 for 6 as you look at the Southwest Airlines scouting report on Harrison.
Yeah, they have him at 90 to 97, that he tops off at 97 and can be as low as 90. So, you know, we're kind of on a recon up here with this guy right now, too, to see what he features.
He was acquired by the Rangers from the Atlanta Braves in the Mark Teixeira deal. Short hop for Michael Young, 2 outs. In fact, in that deal, the Rangers not only got Harrison, but they also got Jared Saltalamacchia, who's now with Boston, and Neftali Feliz, their fine closer.
Yeah, that turned out to be a very good deal for them. You know, they probably weren't going to keep Teixeira around, and to get Neftali Perez right there is important. And now you have a starting pitcher here in Harrison.
Here's Placido Polanco with 2 outs, and he takes one off the outside corner.
Saltalamacchia is now basically the #1 catcher for the Red Sox. He made his major league debut against the Phils one night with the Braves.
The Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Eddie Glassick of Jim Thorpe. If the Phillies hit a home run in today's ball game, that Eddie will win $100. Off the glove of the catcher Napoli, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Polanco 3 for 8 in this series. And with his 3 hits, he's now 108 hits shy of 2,000 for his career. So we have 2 guys in this game that are on the doorstep of 2,000 hits. And a liner to center, and that doorstep is getting a little narrower. Booted by the center fielder Gentry. That allows Polanco to try for 2, and he is safe. That's a heck of a slide.
Yeah, especially early in the game when that field's wet like that. Because they wet it down before the game, and there's no sunshine here today, so it's not going to dry out as fast. So you figure they got to give him an error on that.
Yeah, it'll be a single and 8.
Yeah, because he had slowed down just a little bit, and now good job, though, by Polanco. That Gentry is evidently an outstanding outfielder. Tom said a good slide. Somehow he keeps part of his body on the bag at all time. There goes the hand. Now that's coming off. And now here comes the leg. That stayed off. Great job. He keeps the knee, the hand, and he never got him. Good
Look
call.
at his left hand. Look, it's still on the bag.
Yeah, he's still keeping that on. But I noticed his knee was on it.
Here's Howard. Towering fly ball, short left center. I mean, it's way up there. And Andrews makes the catch, and the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit. There was 1 Rangers error. The Phils leave 1. We go to the second. Trip to the All-Star game. Compliments of Scott's. Top of the second, scoreless game. Adrian Beltre takes a strike from Roy Oswalt. Beltre is third in the league in RBIs with 37. He's 2 for 8 in this series. And he hits it foul, and it's no balls and 2 strikes. Beltre last year had a kind of a renaissance with the Red Sox. He signed just a 1-year deal with Boston. They thought they would be able to re-sign him again, but instead they had to move Kevin Youkilis over to third, and they picked up Adrian Gonzalez from the Padres. 0-2 pitch to Beltre. Nope, Oswalt has to step off.
It turned out great for both teams. You know, it's working fine for the Red Sox, and these guys have Beltre, who's a serious power hitter, and he can play third too. He's been hurt a lot.
Hits that one back up the middle. It's the second hit of the day for the Rangers. During the 2011 season, Turkey Hill will contribute $100 for each Phillies victory and 5 cents for each carton of Phillies Grand Slam ice cream, sold to support the Phillies youth baseball and softball programs. So 1 away. Here's Mitch Moreland making his 3rd start in this series. The Rangers are optimistic that they'll get not only Nelson Cruz but also Josh Hamilton back this week when they return home. Both are rehabbing at AAA. And if they weren't selling out in Round Rock, Texas, they probably are this weekend with Hamilton and Cruz both playing. And Ron Washington is hopeful that he'll get both of those guys back, even if he gets one of them back in the next couple of days.
It's like the Phillies looking forward to getting Chase Utley back, and it changes the dynamic of a lineup when you get those kind of players back, because guys who are in spots they shouldn't be go back to more normal hitting spots.
Outside 2-0.
And maybe a guy who's a bench player who's become a regular player who is not a regular player goes back to his role. And you know, there's nothing like getting guys back off the DL that are regular players. That guy's done a tremendous job wherever you put him in the last 2 years.
To left field, that's pretty well hit. Ibanez going back, and he has room. Makes the catch as it stays in the yard. Kept on slicing. And back to first goes Beltre.
Sounded like he got in on him a little bit because he really didn't hit it right on the screws.
Well, after the Rangers leave, the Cincinnati Reds will be in town. And don't forget, Wednesday the 25th, there are some seats still available if you want to make a purchase and come out and see the Phillies and the Reds. A heck of a pitching matchup in every game this week between the Phillies and the Reds. And then the 7th and 8th of June, the Dodgers are here for their only visit. Go to Phillies.com and make your purchase today. The other thing, too, is you may get a chance to see Chase Utley in a Phillies uniform again. Line drive caught by Rollins. That was a seed hit by Napoli. 2 outs.
That baby had some serious hook to it. You could see in that left at bat, Jimmy's got to move to his right in a hurry. Look at that thing going away from him the whole time. Right-handed batter hits a ball like that, they will hook.
2 outs for Craig Gentry. Most likely Gentry will be sent back to the minor leagues when Hamilton and or Nelson Cruz come back.
He had a tough time with Lee. He has had a tough time with Halladay and Lee this weekend. But everything you hear about him is he is a superior defensive center fielder, even though he just bobbled that ball in the first inning.
Making his 8th straight start in center for the Rangers. Curveball outside. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard down in South Florida, the Rays have taken a 4-0 lead over the Marlins. Matt Joyce 1 for 2, an RBI and a run scored. How about Henley Ramirez goes yard yesterday against David Price? It kind of sets the tone for that entire game.
Yeah, they've won 2 in a row from the Rays. Of course, the Marlins have been a very good interleague team for a long time.
Yeah, they have the best record in the National League against the American League.
Now, Josh Johnson was supposed to pitch today, but they put him on the DL with what they're calling a tired shoulder. They just didn't like the way he threw the other day in a bullpen, so they decided to DL him, and I believe they started Puente today.
Grounder toward third. Diving stop. Polanco gets to his feet. No chance to throw out Gentry. And the Rangers have first and second with 2 outs. That'll be another hit.
That probably saves a run, though, because that ball, the way it's going down the line, has not hit that hard. And, you know, Beltre not a great runner, but good enough that he probably could score on this play if it gets by him, because it's going to go so slow when it gets to the outfield. It would be tough for Ibanez to come and get that and throw a guy out. So nice play by Polanco to maybe save a run.
Harrison gets a chance to bat and takes a fastball low. Harrison in his career 0 for 2.
Nice catch in the first throw off to our left in the club level. And the guy gave it to a little kid beside him, maybe his son.
Yeah, there were a couple of kids who were behind him with gloves on saying, I got it, I got it.
Nope, not quite.
1-1 the count to Harrison. On the outside corner with a 91-mile-an-hour fastball, and it's 1-2.
That swing that he just took was so late that you would think they'll stay with fastballs to him.
They do, and he's late again.
So when you see a guy swinging like that, I know after a while they get tired of it and he fouls it off. But there's no reason to think he's going to hit you unless it just hit his bat and it finds a hole somewhere, because he's so late on it.
And the outfielders are very shallow against him too. Even if a ball gets to the outfield, they'll either hold Beltre or they'll have a chance to throw him out at the plate.
Yeah, and a breaking ball speeds his bat up. Well, he flipped that on him, it just froze him. He's not even going to swing at that.
Well, forget about speeding his bat up.
Yeah.
As you said, he froze him at the plate, and Oswalt picks up a strikeout. That takes us to the bottom of the second. And sarcastic, but he's the best at what he does. Hugh Laurie stars as TV's most outrageous doctor in House. Catch 2 full hours tonight starting at 8 right here on PHL 17. Citizens Bank Park is sold out again today as the Phillies and the Rangers wrap up the first weekend of interleague play. The National League has held its own this year in the first weekend of interleague play. In fact, the National League has 17 wins, 11 losses. The other numbers are fairly close. You know, the offensive numbers, the pitching's been a little better for the National League. Ben Francisco leads off the second. And it takes a fastball upstairs.
Well, the Phillies have certainly contributed to the pitching number that starts to get out of their 2 guys.
Not sure how he can see through all those tassels.
Get one of those in the Sarge line.
Liner to center for Francisco, and Gentry makes the play. So here are the numbers we talked about. National League 17 wins. The batting average very close. Home runs obviously are very close. It's the pitching that's just a little better in the National League that's really helped them along. Talked about the Marlins. They took the first 2 against the Rays. There've been a couple other really good series too. Mets and Yankees have split their first 2.
Cubs and Red Sox have been entertaining. Boy, Marlon Byrd hit in the face last night. That was awful. Sarge was.
Andrews throws out Ibanez.
Ibanez thrown out. The Sarge was talking to Bob Dernier this morning. And, we were all in there and got a chance to talk to Bobby D too, who is now a coach with the Cubs, and was talking about Marlon. And he said it was amazing. In the clubhouse, Bobby said he went up in the clubhouse to see him, and he was more ticked off than he was out of the game than anything, which is typical Marlon Byrd, the way he likes to play. But that was one of the scarier looking hit by pitch you'll ever see. Hit him right in the face.
Yeah, fastball that hit him right below the left eye. Here's Mayberry. Mayberry 1 for 6 in the series so far. That takes a fastball outside, 1-0. Mayberry's batting average down to 242. Fly ball to center, not deep. A little bit of a run for Gentry, and the Phillies go down in order here in the second. 1, 2, 3. So Harrison has allowed just 1 base runner so far through the first 2. We go to the top of the third here in Philadelphia. Phillies.com. Go to the fan section for all the information, and please submit your answer on the subject line. Wheels, here's the question. Name the former Phillies player that managed the Rangers to their first ever playoff berth. The answer will be revealed in the 7th inning. Elvis Andrus leads it off. He's 0 for 1. And he takes the changeup for a strike. Rangers as a team are hitting .233 here in the month of May. Rollins goes back on a little looper. And there's 1 out. It was interesting listening to Ron Washington talk on Friday about his team's struggles offensively, because it's not often when you see an American League team that's as good as the Rangers that you think that they're struggling offensively.
And it's kind of funny around baseball right now how many times you're hearing this. Watching the Braves last night, their guys were talking about how they can't score in the first 5 innings, and they couldn't again last night, and the offensive problems that Atlanta's having. And then you talk about the problems this team's having. It's more than just the Phillies.
Murphy lost his bat as it rolls in front of Charlie Manuel. Well, the Yankees are a prime example. I mean, last night they had 4 home runs in that game against the Mets, but they've been struggling offensively. Well, the last 8 games between the Rangers and the Phillies, I mean, the Phillies hitting just $172, but the Rangers only .225.
Well, we'll see what happens when, as Charlie calls it, hitting weather gets here. It's getting closer. It's going to be hot starting tomorrow here in Philadelphia. And the Reds are coming in, and they can hit.
1-2 the count to Murphy.
Although they've been struggling a little bit scoring runs, too.
Base hit to right center. Second hit of the day for Murphy. Follow the Phillies with the MLB.com @BAT11 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. Get live audio, pitch-by-pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text @BAT to 31826 or visit Phillies.com for details.
Oswalt not happy with that pitch. He slapped the curveball up there, and you know it only turned into a single. Sometimes they can turn into a lot more trouble.
Well, both outfielders, Mayberry and Francisco, both converged very quickly on that ball, because Murphy was probably thinking that as he left the box.
Yeah, that ball was headed towards the alley when he hit it.
Kinsler was hit by a pitch his first time up, and there's a fastball for a strike. Oh, the Toyota Major League scoreboard. Mets and Yankees are in the bottom of the third. Mets lead at 3-1. Jason Bay, another one of those guys who's really struggling, has a couple hits and a run scored today for New York. The Mets, that is.
I don't know if Kinsler's up there looking for something. Well, he's thrown him 2 fastballs away in the same spot, and he's taken both of them. This guy is really going to hurt somebody before long. He's just a good hitter.
Great moment yesterday when Cliff Lee forgot Kinsler was on first and threw a pitch from the windup, and Kinsler was on first thinking, wait a minute, I can go on this.
Right.
And he took off, and he was saying during the telecast yesterday that as he's going to second, he's thinking, all right, Cliff is up to something.
Right.
He's going to get me.
I must be wrong here. I got to be doing something wrong. Because you don't expect a major league pitcher like Lee to forget there's a man on first and go into the windup.
0-2 the count. On the inside corner. That's a pretty good pitching right there by Oswalt. 2 outs.
Yeah, he didn't like that from Mike DeMuro, but all those fastballs away have him thinking away, and then they zip a fastball on the inside part of the plate. He got the strikeout. He thinks this is inside. It looked like a strike.
Really did. He crowds the plate, so it takes his vision away a little bit. Mike DeMuro behind the plate. Tim Welke, the crew chiefs, over at first. Andy Fletcher's at second, and Jim Reynolds at third. Michael Young takes a pitch low. Anyway, just to put a bow on that Kinsler story, if you look at the replays of Lee in the windup, he's got his leg kick up and he's looking at first. As that one goes to third, Polanco picks it, throws to second. The side is retired, and you can see Lee's expression. He realized at that point, oh no, I'm from the windup, and he's taken off on me.
This is a brain cramp.
We go to the bottom of the third here in Philly. Amazingly low office product prices. By Jeep brand, we don't just make SUVs, we make history. And by McDonald's, I'm loving it. Last of the third, bottom of the order, due up for the Phillies in a scoreless game. Rangers with 4 hits against Oswalt. Phillies just 1 hit so far against Matt Harrison.
Phillies have played some nice defense behind Roy Oswalt here today too. They made some really good plays in the infield.
Dane Sardina takes a strike. It's 0-1.
Carlos Ruiz more back to catching a lot more, but they still want to give him some time. And you know, day game after a night game, you use Sardina today. Charlie was talking about that the other day, thinking it was about time to turn Ruiz loose, but with some caution. And this is one of those situations today.
Ryan Schneider and Brad Lidge are both scheduled to be down in Clearwater for the next stage in their rehab. Brian was out running the other day. Shane Victorino was out running today. It's all good signs that everybody's starting to get a little healthier.
Yeah, talking to Schneider the other day, I think he was a little surprised that he felt better as fast as he did, because you know we were all led to believe that it was going to be a month.
Yep.
And he said he really feels pretty good, and he thinks he's going to get back quicker than that.
1-2 the count to Sardina. Outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
This guy doesn't throw a whole lot of breaking balls, and you know that's a curveball that he's throwing. There has to be a reason why his numbers against left-handed hitters are not good.
Part of the reason for his struggles too, record-wise, 3-4. The Rangers in his last 5 games have only scored 10 runs for him.
Yeah.
Mike Maddox probably has the same conversations with his pitchers that Rich Doobie has with his. Just kind of control the things that you can control.
Ran into Mike this morning down by the Phillies clubhouse, had a nice talk and about his rotation and you know the types of pitchers that he's got all different kinds of guys, and he really enjoys working with his staff, and he misses the guy that's in the Phillies uniform now, as you would imagine.
There's ball 4 and Sardina is aboard. Oh, he probably missed him even more after watching him last night against the Rangers. That's Cliff Lee. Here's that stolen base by Ian Kinsler we're talking about.
See, as soon as that right foot starts to move and rocks back, he knows he's in the windup, and that's where Kinsler had that look like, is he tricking me? Am I missing something here? But no, that right foot went back. That means he's winding up.
Oswalt bunts the first attempt foul in this at bat.
If he can get a sacrifice down, this will be his 100th career sacrifice. That's pretty significant. You know, that you really helped yourself. You can get one down 100 times.
Charlie Manuel nearly used him the other night when he used Victorino. He thought about using Oswalt instead.
And now, of course, if he had to do it over again, he would.
He bunts it toward first. That's a good one. It'll be a sacrifice 2-4 on the putout.
Give him the ball.
And it's number 100 in Roy Oswalt's career.
I'm sure he doesn't care about that, but I think that's a really significant number.
Well, think about how many pitchers talk about being able to stay in games because they have to bunt better.
Sure, and look at the perfect technique he has there. The bat out in front of the plate. He just basically lets the bat catch the baseball and make sure it's in fair territory. Now, this is how he hurt himself last time, hurt his back. So, you know, he's not going to run real hard down that line. Just, I got the job done. I'm going to go sit out.
So, runner in scoring position for the Phillies. Here's Jimmy Rollins. Takes breaking ball for strike. Rollins lined to center his first time up.
That's a good point, Tom, about, you know, a pitcher keeps himself in the game that way when he can do that.
I just remember when the Phillies acquired Roy Halladay, how much he talked about that in spring training, that he had to get better at the plate because he hadn't done it often.
Especially in the National League, too, because, you know, you're going to hit for your pitcher. It's a little backdoor breaking ball, even though Jimmy didn't think it was a strike. Throwing curveballs as his breaking ball.
Pop up first base side. Michael Young is there. And there's one or two away. Well, next homestand, the Phillies will get a chance to face the Florida Marlins on Tuesday, June 14th, 15th. It's a day-night doubleheader on the 15th. And Thursday, the 16th. That's a Citizens Bank Business Person Special. All these matchups against the Marlins, the Braves, and the National League East, they're big ones. You can get your tickets now by going to Phillies.com. There are limited seats available for all four of those games. Remember, the makeup game is the day part of the day-night doubleheader. That's from the rainout in April here at the ballpark. Valdez out in front of a changeup, 0-1.
Don't have a lot of speed at second base now in Sardina. They're cheating in center and right, and playing him as an opposite field hitter. He's a Phillies leading hitter with runners in scoring position.
You just wouldn't think that.
No.
He's down to the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Mike Napoli goes out to the mound to talk to Matt Harrison. Maybe he saw something with Valdez that he wants to try again, or maybe he wants to make sure the signs are right with runner at second.
It's not that matter of keeping Sardina that close to second. They're not really that worried about it because of lack of speed.
Opposite way, base hit it to right field. Sardina's being held at third as Moreland gets to it quickly.
Well, Moreland gave up on that play.
Sure
too.
did.
And there's no way for Juan Samuel to know that. You know, we just set the whole thing up that if the ball's hit out there, it's really going to be hard to score him, and because he was so shallow, and he gave up on the play. Moreland did. He wasn't hardly going to throw it in, and Juan Samuel had already stopped Sardina at third base. Watch Moreland give up on the play here. See, here it goes to him. Now, he basically is, you know, he's scoring. I'm not even going to worry about it. Or did he see him stop at third? Maybe he saw him stop at third. You know, now that I watch that replay again, it's hard to tell the timing of it. That's what he did. He saw him stop at third, and that's why he gave up on the play. Now it makes sense.
Ball's in the dirt. That's going to allow Valdez to move up to second. A wild pitch.
And Sammy did the right thing there because he's going to run him right into an out. Even though there are two outs, the catcher on second base just can't run well enough to score on a ball hit that far hard to the right fielder, who was cheating in.
Now a base hit could score too, although they're playing Polanco as an opposite field hitter, and they're not deep at all.
Well, now Juan Samuel is a little easier decision if you get a base hit, at least so Sardina can walk him. Then he's got to worry about the guy at second with that outfielder in so close. But they did a good job to the Rangers in that, in cheating their right side of their outfield in on the guy's offside.
Little number up the first base line. Harrison off the mound, the bare hands, and the sign is retired. So the Phillies leave a couple in scoring position. No runs, 1 hit, 2 men left. We've played 3. We go to the 4th here in Philadelphia in a scoreless game. Back in Shred Shredder, featuring hands-free shredding. Who but W.B. Mason? Go to the top of the fourth. And a scoreless game. Gary Matthews joins us here in the booth. Adrian Beltre, Mitch Moreland, Mike Napoli. Sarge back in the TV booth after his venture over in radio yesterday. How'd it go?
Thought it went pretty good.
I listened. It sounded good.
Yeah, Francie talked about how I was slumming it on radio. Don't have to use your makeup when you're on radio.
Inside 2-0. I didn't even know you wore makeup. That's how natural it looks, Sarge.
Oh, thanks.
Beltre single to center his first time up. So he's 1 for 1.
Plus you can wear whatever you want.
3-0. So what'd you do? You decided to come to work in your pajamas yesterday?
No, I mean, I dress one way just about all the time. The guys on the radio are the ones that kind of slum it. Obviously, they're not what you would call fashion guys or read the GQ magazine. Both of them, as a matter of fact. You know?
Well, it's nice to see you dress up for today's telecast.
Always in the uniform here, feeling pretty good.
Beltre fouls that one off. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes. It's faster over on radio, isn't it?
A little different animal. Can't talk as much as you would like to, but over the course of the 9 innings, you get a chance to get everything in. I kind of really liked that. It was fun.
I listened. I thought you did get everything in.
You did. You liked
did.
that. We had a lot of fun there. You know, the most important thing, ended up winning the game. There they are, slumming it. That's what I'm talking about.
I don't know. I think Larry's got a nice shirt on.
He does have a nice shirt on.
Grounded his shortstop. Rollins to his left. One away. Jim Jackson looks like he has a radio outfit on. He has the PHT jacket on.
Yeah, Jim goes on whatever they give him to wear.
Oh, is that what it is?
You put something there, he'll put it on.
Did they give him that goatee to wear too?
And that's his new look that he has going. As he's talking with L.A. about what? Nothing. You know, I had a lot of fun with Jim Jackson, though, doing the play-by-play. He's pretty versatile, you'd have to say.
Mitch Moreland is the batter, and he takes the first pitch outside. It's 1-0.
I'm sure Larry's going to say, why were we on television?
No, Larry's going to think that we're showing off his attire because he's very proud of that shirt he's wearing today.
Oh, boy, don't talk about his shirts.
Oswald wants to do baseball. Moreland fly to left his first time up. Let's take a look at the Toyota Major League scoreboard. The Reds really having a tough time with the Indians. 7-1 Cleveland.
They're going to be coming in here pretty angry.
Off the end of the bat, left side, Rollins is over. 2 outs. Well, the National League Central, it's been very competitive at the top between the Cardinals and the Reds. Last weekend, the Reds swept out the Cardinals to take the lead in the division, but Cincinnati's not had a good weekend or a good week, so the Cardinals are back on top.
Cardinals are back on top. Give that Pittsburgh Pirates some credit. Not at 500 yet. Playing pretty good baseball, only 4 games out at this time.
Playing much better on the road than at home, as Napoli takes a strike on the outside corner.
You know, Cleveland right now might be the wrong club to be playing. They're winning those games, clutch hitting, winning pitching, defense, believing that they can win now.
To left field, Ibanez comes in. He misread it, but he's able to recover and make the sliding grab. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4th inning, and Raul Ibanez, after standing pat, finally read that it was going to be a sinking liner. He came charging in at the last moment, left his feet, and went sliding on the grass. By Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines new Rapid Rewards. Unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates. And by the Quality Plus Ford stores. Oh, it's the final day of interleague play around baseball until the next session, which is in a few weeks. Phillies and the Rangers scoreless as we go to the bottom of the fourth. Larry Anderson came in to defend his attire in between innings.
Well, he was talking what's wrong with his shirt. Nothing's wrong with it. And JJ obviously got to say, well, what did they say? And he's going to say, well, they were ripping you.
Telling you, I think the shirt, the purple's nice on Larry.
Yeah. He only wears long sleeves. Doesn't matter if it's 100, 120, or 30.
Reggie Jackson used to be that way with the Yankees. Do you think it's the same reason why? Reggie wanted to shield his pipes.
Yeah. Reggie wanted to show his pipes.
Shield his pipes. Is that why Larry wants to do it?
Larry has no pipes. Come on. It's a pitcher.
Well, I guess we could go on and on all day long if we wanted to.
It's a good thing he's not in here.
1 ball, 2 strikes the count to Howard. Little number up the third base line.
Still struggling. Even though Ryan hit that home run yesterday, I mean, you can tell once he's out of the slump when he continues to hit balls hard. You want to try and at least hit 2 or 3 balls hard when you're in a game.
96 on that fastball. He just blew it right by him.
Wow.
First strikeout for Harrison.
Well, there's that hole that's up and in, but this is 96. I take it back almost right down the middle. Was high, however. Ryan Howard late on that pitch.
Ben Francisco lined out his first time up. Francisco has very good numbers against the Rangers overall. He came into this game hitting .355 against them with 4 homers and 17 RBIs.
Now, we talked about that. If for whatever reason, there's some teams when you see you're able to get yourself out of a slump, haven't been hitting, you're going to get some hits. Tommy John kind of had that effect on a lot of right-handed hitters.
Well, C.J. Wilson, who pitched on Friday, you just saw, he's a lefty that's tough to hit. Francisco went yard against him. That ball's going to die in the right center field alley. And there are 2 outs. Friday, June 10th at 7:05, the Phillies will take on the Cubs, and it's also a celebration of the Be a Fanatic About Reading Literacy Night, presented by Comcast. Fans are asked to donate a book to benefit the Philadelphia Reads program. All book donations will be accepted at all gates, and fans donating a book will have the opportunity to win an autographed item. Here's Ibanez with 2 outs and a strike with a fastball, 0-1.
He throws that ball 94 and 96. Very easy delivery. It's got to be devastating for a left-handed hitter. Pretty big guy. Nice kick.
Has a tendency, though, Sarge, to get wild, and we haven't seen that today.
Well, got to work that count. Test him. Get some guys on base. Woof. When he's throwing that hard, that's when, if he throws that curveball at you, you get the little buckle from the hitter. Almost impossible to get wood on it.
Opposite way for Ibanez. That'll drop in for a base hit. So there's the base runner. It comes with 2 outs here in the 4th.
95. Ibanez picking on. Been hitting the ball pretty solid. I mean, still, you want to see power numbers, but he's come a long way and being able to hit. Again, those left-handers will make Ibanez stand there a lot better.
Two outs, a runner at first. Mayberry flied to center his first time up.
kind of pitcher. Kind of takes all the guessing, too, out of hitting. If he hasn't been able to get breaking balls, he hasn't thrown a lot of them, getting ahead with that fastball.
Opposite way, Moreland moves back a few steps, and the side is retired. So neither offense really getting a whole lot rolling against either starting pitcher today. We're through 4. Still the Rangers nothing and the Phillies nothing. As we go to the top of the 5th, this series has been a lot about starting pitching. Phillies starters have done a very good job. You know, you could say the same about the Rangers starting pitchers. They've been good too. And it's the same today. It'll be Gentry, Harrison, and then Andrews at the top of the order. C.J. Wilson to the left, and as we said, he pitched well on Friday night. Colby Lewis pitched well yesterday.
Sure did.
Roy Halladay was good on Friday night.
Yeah, Roy, though, he expects to be good. Never really see him smile on the mound. I mean, he did on the no-hitter in Florida after he did that, but very seldom do you ever see him smile. Never takes anything for granted.
Down the left field line, that'll hook foul and out of play. It's 2-2. But Sarge, you like that about him. Now, we've gotten to know Halladay and Oswalt and Lee. Halladay and Lee are very different in the way they go about things.
Same kind of attitude.
But same attitude. Lee's always smiling.
No, the thing that you like about all those pitchers, and even Oswalt, that when they throw a pitch, they're thinking in their mind what they want to throw the next pitch if they haven't gotten the hitter out. So in other words, each pitch, they're setting up to be able to get that hitter out. That's why you don't want the ball to be too far up, out.
Back to the box, under the glove of Oswalt, barehanded by Valdez, in time to get Gentry. And as it turns out, that's really the only way he could make that play.
That's a good indication. As an infielder, you know who's running, and you have to know that because it determines how you want to catch the ball. As Valdez barehands the ball, see how he's looking right there at it. Didn't have a real good grip, but boy, he gets it there and gets it there just in the nick of time. Here he is, comes. That's a tough play. Got to have strong fingers, hands to do that.
And then make the throw. Here's another one. This time Oswalt is able to get to it, and he throws out Harrison 2 away. So 2 fine defensive plays for the Phillies, and Sardina is going to go out to the mound just to give Oswalt a moment.
That's a good point there as Oswalt goes down and just picks that ball up. There's a little bit of a smile because they're outs.
30 minutes is all you need, Sarge, to get the latest news, weather, and sports. It's the News at 10 that's convenient and fits your lifestyle. Tonight and every night, it's PHL 17 News at 10, powered by NBC 10. Two outs, top of the order. Elvis Andrus, who's 0 for 2. Bunts it foul, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Oswalt in interleague play is 11-9 with a 3.73 earned run average. And those starts coming as a member of the Houston Astros. And as we said, the Astros and the Rangers,
right,
they were interleague partners. Natural rivals.
Yeah. And Cubs and St. Louis, Dodgers and the Giants.
Or American National League wise, Cubs and White Sox,
yeah,
Dodgers and Angels.
Almost guaranteed to have full houses at both places in those cities.
You used to play the White Sox when you were with the Cubs, right? In like the sort of Mayor's Trophy type games.
It was awful, just awful. And I say that because the game didn't count. And you're facing pitchers that they normally wouldn't pitch.
Andrus beats that one out. Tough play for Polanco. It'll be an infield single. It's the second infield single of the day for the Rangers.
Almost like a swinging bunt. Ball hit very softly. Difficult to get any runner that has decent speed. I think from the right side, he'd get down there just about probably 4 seconds, 4-1. Excellent from the right side.
Quick toss over by Oswalt. Kind of surprised Andrus, who was still putting on his running gloves. Did you have running gloves, Sarge?
No. All we had, Tom, was hitting gloves. Well, but they had certain guys that would change their gloves or else just hold them, because a lot of times players, if they had a problem in actually sliding, they put their hand down. So usually if you had gloves in it, you wouldn't put your hand down to slide. You just go on and slide. Now,
do guys change gloves now because they're sliding head first? Then it kind of roughs up the hands, so they can't really use them at the bat?
Most of the guys, they've changed their gloves almost daily. You know, they have a box of gloves.
Runner goes. Sardina's throw is offline. Rollins tried to make the tag, and the second base umpire, Andy Fletcher, says he missed him. Charlie Manuel's going to come out. Now, he saw Rollins' expression and his body language, so that's why Charlie's going to go out.
Well,
he goes on the expression, the body language of the coaches and the players as to whether he will argue.
Take a look at it as he comes in and slide. Terrific speed as he comes in. Got him.
Oh, he did look like he got him on the backside.
Yeah, and I did want to say, I didn't think he was actually going to be jumping up and down if he didn't feel him. He got him.
Think he got him there, sir?
I do.
That one was tough to tell. That one looked like it almost as if he missed him. But let's see this one here. Yeah, oh boy, it looks like he may have gotten him. Well, Rollins thought that he applied the tag to the backside of Andrus. That's his 15th stolen base without being caught. Reyes hasn't been caught in the National League. And that one goes right between the 5-hole of Sardina.
Yeah, that's just something that should not happen to a catcher. The ball didn't hit the ground. Got to be able to stop that ball. See if he gets down there, and he tries to get there. He just boots it, just misses it. Once it gets by him, no problem to be able to get to the next base.
So a pass ball against Sardina. Phillies haven't had many pass balls this year. 3-0 the count to Murphy, who's 2 for 2. And a strike on the outside corner. So first and third with 2 outs.
Almost kind of pitching around him. If he's going to swing at a pitch, it was going to have to be Roy's pitch. That's why he threw that fastball up and out.
Well, he's hit Kinsler and he's gotten him looking on strikes. Again, these 2 runners have gotten aboard with 2 outs here in the 5th.
Hey, this Texas club, they continue to put pressure on the opposition. One of the reasons they are having a successful season.
Kinsler hits it towards short. Backheaded by Rollins. Short way to second. And the side is retired. So 1 pitch and Oswalt gets Ian Kinsler. He leaves 2 here in the 5th. We go to the bottom of the 5th here at Citizens Bank Park. The scoring column yet. 8 hits combined between the 2. And it'll be Dane Sardina, Roy Oswalt, and then the top of the order. You see the combination of starters this series. The Rangers starters, 17 2/3. They've allowed 5 earned runs. Phillies starters have allowed just 2 earned runs in 21 innings. And we continue. I mean, if you like pitching and defense, Sarge, then well, this has been your series.
I'm an offensive type guy. Like to see hits. Kind of reminds me of when I was growing up in Los Angeles. Koufax, Drysdale pitching. There were never any hits on the opposition. Got there late, you might miss the ball game.
Sardina with a base hit to lead off the 5th. So he's been on board to start the 3rd and now the 5th. And let's see if Roy Oswalt can start his trek toward his next 100 sacrifice bunts with this at bat.
Jay, the majority of the pitches this guy's throwing has been all fastballs. Matt thinking he has a great fastball. I think hitters got to change what they're thinking. Go up and look for that ball in their zone and attack it.
Oswalt bunts again toward first. Harrison off the mound, and the sacrifice is successful. So Sarge, that's 101 career sacrifice bunts for Oswalt, and he's only 411 away from the all-time leader.
Are you asking me the leader as he bunts this ball? Great technique. You can see he has his bat above the ball as he bunts the ball down. Just textbook for any of the young kids that are looking out there. That's where you want to bunt it.
No, I'm just giving you perspective. I mean, we think 101's a lot, and it is.
Oh,
512 is the record by Eddie Collins.
Oh, boy.
Rollins is 0 for 2. Oh, boy. That may be a tough play for Kinsler, but he's there, and Moreland comes sliding in to make the catch.
Oh, boy.
And Rollins now 0 for 2 with Sardina in scoring position.
But Moreland there in right field never took his eye off of the ball. Kinsler going over. See, at the last minute, I got it. He stayed right with it. You can see Kinsler peeling off from that ball. Good sliding catch by Moreland. There's I got it. That's the cue there for the second baseman to get out of the way, and he does it in a way where he gets out of the way, jumping over Moreland. That could have been a heck of a collision right there.
Absolutely. Valdez singled his last time up with Sardina at second, but he was held at third. Sarge, let's say if Valdez hits the same ball this inning, does Juan Samuel take a chance?
No, he's reading the fielder when he's picking up the ball, knowing Sardina doesn't have great speed. Just don't want to run into an out. You know, what they need is where that ball is maybe hitting the gap where the fielder has to go to the side one way or the other. If he's coming straight in and picks it clean, you can see Samuel, hey, give me a lead, give me a secondary lead, be off with the hit so that he can have a chance to score. It's all in your secondary lead, and with the fielders not close to Sardina, you take as much as you can.
Well, now it'll be a third as that ball hopped about 3 feet in front of the plate and over the shoulder of Napoli. A wild pitch, the second one of the game for Harrison.
That was a curveball, maybe one of the reasons why he doesn't throw a lot of those. Take a look at it. There's the bounce for it. No chance at all. You see, he just tried to block it, not even catch it, but it hit the ground, bounced right over his head.
Corners are back. 1-2 the count to Valdez. 2-2. To second base. Kinsler waits on it. And the Phils leave one in scoring position. That's the second time today that they've left a runner in scoring position. We go to the sixth. Again, no score. 20-year-old Antonio Bastardo flipped the switch and turned out the lights for his first career save. Success at the back end of the bullpen is brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Now more than ever, we're here for you every step of the way. Well, the closers played a big role for the Phillies these last couple of games. Ryan Matson's been outstanding. In fact, Matson has saved the last 7 victories for the Phillies. First time since 1994 that that's happened. Michael Young, all he keeps doing is hitting as he serves one into right. A base hit to start the 6th. So a leadoff single. That's the 6th hit of the day for the Rangers. Sarge, you taught him everything he knows, that Michael Young.
Michael Young came into the league, into the minor leagues hitting. Same kind of line drives. And just nothing's changed. He's just been a good hitter. One of those guys that hits around 300.
Little number in front of the plate. Sardina out from behind the plate quickly. It turns out to be a swinging bunt, and it moves Young up to second. That's the only play they had.
Well, Sardina getting on that quick, you're right. And that's the play. You want that catcher to come out and get the ball. Don't want that pitcher to get it. He jumps on it quick, makes a fine throw.
Well, the Phillies had a runner at second with 1 out in their half of the 5th. And now the Rangers with that scenario here in the 6th. Moreland's 0 for 2. He's flied out to left. He's popped out to short. To left field. Ibanez on his way back toward the wall. It's over his head, and the Rangers will take the lead. Moreland will pull it to second, an RBI opposite field double. And it's 1-0 Texas. Well, his first time up, he hit a ball to left that Ibanez tracked down. That time, it just kept on sailing.
Looked like he wanted to get it in. Look at it, out over the plate as he muscles the ball over Ibanez's head as he tries to jump right on the side there.
Napoli's 0 for 2. For 2 and 7 for his last 56 after a hot start. Well, this is more than Oswalt threw in his last outing against the Cardinals, but he's looked very comfortable in both of his starts since coming off the DL.
Yeah, well, his velocity has been up, and a veteran pitcher, he knows how to pitch and what he's trying to do. Well, he doesn't get all upset.
I would think, though, Sarge, they're going to probably think about getting somebody up, even though we're only in the 6th. They thought it would be between 80 and 90 pitches for Oswalt today. And he's at 79, and they do get somebody up. It looks like David Herndon starting to loosen. There's Herndon back from AAA. Curveball, waved at, and I mean waved at, for a strikeout. 3 strikeouts for Oswalt. Hey, the Phillies road trips are just about upon us. 2 of the 3 road trips are already sold out, but there's still one available. It's the trip to D.C. the 19th through the 21st of August. Package includes seats to the games, brunch with us broadcasters, tours of the city and the ballpark, hotel accommodations, and transportation options. Go to Phillies.com/road trips for more information. The road trips are hosted by Scott Palmer and the Bull. Charlie Manuel electing to walk Gentry intentionally here to pitch to the pitcher, Matt Harrison.
Well, that's the better move. You always like to try and pitch to the pitcher simply because he hasn't hit as much, but still dangerous as we've seen. There's some pitchers that swing the bat and swing pretty good, especially these guys that have pitched in college and been pretty good hitters. Don't have to worry about the ball so much up and in. Therefore, they're able to go out and just swing as hard as they want.
Harrison's 0 for 2. How about that? He dropped the changeup on him.
Changeup first pitch. Thinking maybe the pitcher's looking fastballs on a swing.
Hits one toward the hole. Tough play for Rollins. Off balance. Throw in time. How about Jimmy Rollins? What a play to get Harrison and to finish up the top of the 6th inning.
Holy cow. Whoa.
That was not an easy play. He was fortunate the pitcher was running, but he still had to get a whole lot on that jump throw to first to finish up the 6th. Buds by Acura. Acura Advance. And by Citizens Bank. Where for homes. Talk to us today about how we can help guide you to the loan that's right for you. Bottom of the 6th, 1-0 Rangers. Final day of interleague play for this session. Matt Harrison has scattered 4 hits over the first 5. Sarge, you know, they first discussed interleague play in Major League Baseball back in the 30s, just to spruce up the interest in the game.
Yeah.
And then back in 1958, the great Hank Greenberg, remember Hank Greenberg, good hitter for the Tigers, obviously, was the GM of the Indians, and he presented Major League Baseball with another plan that said, hey, let's do interleague play. So they were going to play 24 games between the American League and the National League. But it never came to fruition until finally in 1997.
Yeah, well, I think, too, though, it can be a good thing. The fans get a chance to see some of the other stars in the other leagues that normally they wouldn't get a chance to see. And like the Cubs, who haven't been in the World Series for so long, are in Boston and playing now. That's a treat for those fans, 2 oldest ballparks in the league, American League, National League.
First trip for the Cubs to Boston since World War I. Placido Polanco leads off the bottom of the 6th with the Phillies down 1-0. Now, would you have enjoyed, I think I ask you this every year, but would you have enjoyed interleague play?
Well, you know what? I think I would have, just for the sense of playing or hitting against some of those other pitchers. But I like to be in that same division because your own destiny is that way. You look at St. Louis, they're beating up or have on Kansas City. And not to say that Kansas City is not a
they're a pretty good team this year.
Ball club,
yeah.
But there's sometimes a ball club, and Kansas City in the past weren't all that great, that they go in and win those 3 games. But still fair because the other clubs are playing someone else. But I'd like it in the same league, and it's kind of almost a surprise when you're going on and facing them in the World Series. However, in saying that, you face a lot of American League teams in spring training.
Polanco to right center field. Gentry and Moreland on the run, and Gentry gets there. And they were playing him that way in center, so that's why he was able to go all the way over to right to make that catch. Hey fans, next time you want to catch a Phillies game, head to StubHub, where you'll find the seats you want and the freedom to choose where you want to sit. StubHub is the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Phillies. One out for Howard, who's 0 for 2. Howard has hit in 15 straight against the American League.
Well, he's making his best pitches there on the breaking ball against Ryan Howard. He struck him out on a 96-mile-an-hour fastball, and now he's come back with 2 breaking balls.
And a third.
That's right. I mean, for Ryan, and pitchers will pitch him that way. Not going to stay in the same type of pattern, but they've been able to get early strikes on him. When you can do that against any hitter, makes it easier to pitch against him. Hitter becomes a lot more defensive.
And a base hit for Howard into center field. He didn't hit it sharply, but he's aboard here in the 6th.
Yeah, good hit. He stayed on the ball, and that's after about 5 or 6 breaking balls in a row. Usually you don't really see that, but you see that many breaking balls, you've got to be able to put some wood on it. He gets the ball up. Notice how he doesn't try and pull the ball. He goes right with it. That's why he's able to hit it up the middle. See how he kind of guides that ball that way? Not even thinking about pulling the ball to right field. Needs to do a lot more of that.
Here's Francisco with 1 out. He's 0 for 2. Hit it hard his first time up. And hits it hard again. A fine play by Harrison. Put the glove out, and he's going to get 2. 1-6-3, and the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit. Nobody left for the Phillies. We've completed 6, and the Rangers lead it by 1. Some nice defense today behind both starting pitchers. Roy Oswalt begins the 7th against the top of the order for the Rangers. Texas leads at 1-0. The Phillies offense again has been stumped by the other team's pitcher. Andrews is 1 for 3. Reached on an infield singles last time.
This is a recording.
Does seem that way.
Well, let's check out the Verizon Wireless game summary. Not a whole lot has happened. A run there for the Rangers in the 6th inning on that double by Mitch Moreland. Matt Harrison has been very good here today. You see he's only walked 1, and you know that's just a lot of that as a result of the Phillies' impatience. As you know, this is a guy that will walk batters, but not today. And Roy Oswalt's done a nice job through 6 innings, including twice bunting a runner into scoring position that was left out there.
A looper into left. That'll drop in for Andrews. Boy, there's been a lot of those kind of hits today against Oswalt. He has scattered 8 hits over 6+ now.
Yeah, he hit that like Oswalt threw it. Oswalt throws that breaking ball up there as he's at 91 pitches, and Andrews was really fooled, but it was up enough that he was able to just loft it out in the left field for base hit.
Here's Murphy, who's been on base all 3 times.
Phillies are going to have to get the bullpen up because Oswalt's right around the point where they thought he would go today.
Runner goes, pitches chopped to the left side. Polanco cuts it off, makes the play to first, 1 away. He was really the only guy that could make that play because Rollins was going over to cover second on the attempted steal.
Yeah, they were playing. Here comes Charlie out to the mound right now. They were playing hit and run there. There you see the runner go. You see Andrus looking in. Moreland swings at a bad, or Murphy swings at a bad ball because it's hit and run. Now Jimmy had gone, as Tom said, Jimmy had gone over towards the bag. So the only guy who could get there is Polanco. And luckily that ball was hit so slowly that he was able to get to the hole and cut it off. If it had been hit hard at all, he doesn't have a chance to get to it.
So Oswalt and Charlie Manuel have a very brief discussion. And he stays in to face Ian Kinsler. David Herndon's been loosening up the last couple of innings. Kinsler is 0 for 2. He was hit by a pitch his first time up. Big crowd at the yard today. Mentioned before that Citizens Bank Park is sold out. 45,633. All fans received those. All young fans received those Carlos Ruiz T-shirts today. Compliments of the good folks at IBEW, Local 98. Foul at the plate, 0-2. There are those T-shirts. That youngster's wearing the Ruiz T-shirt with the catcher's mask on the front.
Chooch mask.
I think it says Chooch on the back with number 51.
Oh,
it hit him again. Now that was a changeup, but it's still going to hurt.
Oh, yeah. He's just trying to hang in there with Kinsler, and he knows he's not trying to hit him. You don't try to hit somebody with a changeup, as Tom said. Here it comes. It just comes boring. Oh, boy, he's gotten one on the elbow today, the left elbow, and now on the left hand. He's lucky he's right-handed.
Well, now Michael Young has 2 aboard with 1 out. Young singled his last time up, came around to score.
Yeah, this guy is as dangerous a hitter as they have in their lineup. And you know what they're hoping right now is to hit a ball hard right at somebody and get out of the inning with 2.
He hits it hard right at Rollins. There's one. Valdez to first in time. It's the second double play that Young has hit into this afternoon. So Oswalt is through 7. A fantastic outing for the Phillies right-hander with some fantastic defense behind him. Wheels, here's the question again, just to refresh your memory. Name the former Phillies player that managed the Rangers to their first ever playoff berth.
Say the first thing that comes to your mind,
yeah.
Right? So that's who I wrote down. Johnny Oates.
Johnny Oates would be correct. Did it 1996. Log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack. Thanks for playing Dodge Stump the Fans. Johnny Oates was one of the good guys in this game.
Really?
And he passed away way too early.
Yeah, lost him way too early to brain tumor. And ironically, one of his best friends is John Vukovich.
Oh, really?
He and Vuk were very, very close. And to think that we lost them both to the same horrible illness or disease or whatever, just so awful.
Well, a word came out yesterday that Gary Carter, the Hall of Fame catcher from the Expos and the Mets, they discovered 4 growths on his brain. They don't know if they're benign or malignant. He's being tested more this week. And it's sad.
Yeah, that is Gary Carter's. He was one of those guys when he's on the other team. You don't like him. Just the way he played and everything. Then got to know him later, and one of the nicest guys you ever want to meet. And that was awful news. And all you can do is just hope he's okay and can get through it. It's so serious. You've had so many friends over the years, and I'm sure everybody listening out there knows somebody who's had something like that occur and how horrible it is.
We go to the bottom of the 7th here in Philadelphia. Ibanez is 1 for 2. It's a 1-0 Rangers lead. Think about the amount of runs that have been scored in this series. Not a whole lot. Texas is 5-5 in their last 10. They've played 10 straight games where they've scored 4 runs or less. As Carlos Ruiz looks like he might be looming. And the Rangers, see, they've allowed 4 runs or less in 10 straight.
Yeah, both these teams are getting very good pitching.
Dirt, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Fans haven't had a whole lot to cheer about today, but the Fanatic is headed for his perch on the Phil's dugout, trying to get something started, and that got everybody going, Tommy.
There was an eruption up the first base line as he came tumbling down the stairs.
Thinking, what is going on over there? Well, they don't have anybody up in their bullpen. Perez is available today. Their closer. He wasn't the first 2 days.
Inside, 3-2.
And so that's something to think about if you get to the 8th inning in a save or 9th inning in a save situation today. There he is, and he's a good one.
Natale Feliz to center field. Pretty well hit. Gentry's got room though. On the foot of the track, he makes the catch. What away.
Yeah, I call him Perez, Neftali Feliz, and he's one of those guys that helped get him in the World Series last year.
Well, these lucky fans are today's Citizen 7. They will each receive a prize pack courtesy of Citizens Bank. Citizens Bank with the most 7-day branches in the Philadelphia area. To find a branch near you, visit citizensbank.com. There they are, all settled down, ready to root on the Phils.
7, not 8. Citizen 7.
Yep, that guy in the end there, he was looking for a green shirt and some sunglasses.
A lot of fly balls today.
Mayberry takes one low.
That's what I guess this guy is kind of a high fastball fly ball pitcher. But not only the one walk so far, and that was the Sardina, the 8-hole hitter.
Another fly ball. 3rd one for Mayberry, short right center. 2 outs here in the 7th. And Sardina will bat. Oh, the distribution of outs for Matt Harrison. We said that he could get wild, but he hasn't today. He's only thrown 30 balls. 7 ground outs, 13 flyouts, and 5 strikeouts.
Yeah, and that's hard to say when you're up here whether or not that's he is throwing a lot of pitches in the strike zone that are strikes, or whether it's just impatience. Because a lot of times if you're a little patient and you work the count on a guy like that and he gets behind, he's going to walk you. But if you swing and foul early pitches off, he gets ahead in the count. He's more relaxed. He'll have a tendency then to throw better pitches and get you out. And as I said, when you sit up here, you don't really, you're not sure what it is. But all you know is his track record. And he's just the opposite today of his track record.
Well, Sardina has it now 3-0 with Ruiz waiting on deck as a pinch hitter for Oswalt.
That's the point we're trying to make. If in fact you can do a little more of that, then he might press a little bit to throw strikes.
Well, that one he threw at 96 miles per hour. Ball 4, and Sardina's aboard. That ball rolls away from Napoli. Second walk issued by Harrison. Second time that Sardina's come to the plate. And it's his day. They gave out T-shirts in his honor, and Carlos Ruiz is coming up as a pinch hitter. And Mike Maddox looks like he might be heading out to the mound once Ruiz is introduced.
Yeah, probably coming out with a scouting report more than anything because they don't have anybody up. Unless somebody got up. Yeah, Mike just looked at the home plate umpire Demura and says, all right, he's in the game now. He's going to hit. I'm going to go talk to my guy about it.
Hey, follow all the Phillies stars of tomorrow. You have a handful of different options. Right now you have Lehigh Valley, Reading, and Lakewood. And then once the month of June rolls around, you'll have Williamsport as well. The Phillies have a part of their website, phillies.com/minor leagues, that will give you more information on how to purchase tickets to all of the venues around the Delaware Valley, and each have their own personality. So head on out there. Go to Lakewood. Their ballpark is a lot like Bright House Field down in Florida. Reading is old school. Lehigh Valley is a brand new, beautiful place that you can catch some of the stars of tomorrow. Just a gorgeous, gorgeous facility. So here's Ruiz, who takes a hook for a strike. It's 0-1.
Now that's the way most teams want to pitch Carlos Ruiz, is soft stuff. So that was Mike Maddox's scouting report there. Let's get ahead, see if we can get ahead with a breaking ball or even get him out with one.
In the dirt, Napoli keeps it in front.
Another one. And they're putting Beltre on the line at third right now in a 1-0 game to try and make sure the Phillies can't shoot a ball down the third baseline for an extra base hit. There you see him. Big hole on the left side.
And like a lot of the Phillies right-handed hitters, they're playing Ruiz to go the other way in the outfield. And he goes the other way to the outfield, and right at Moreland, who makes the catch to the side, is retired. So they went breaking pitch to Carlos Ruiz. He's set down. So are the Phillies. We've played 7. Rod Washington's Rangers lead at 1-0. DealerDealer.com. By Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards. Unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates. By Xfinity, only from Comcast, the official HD triple play provider of the Phillies. And by Honda. See your Honda dealer and discover the great values now being offered. 7 in the books. We go to the top of the 8th. Carlos Ruiz, who pinch hit for Roy Oswalt, remains in the game to catch. So he'll remain in the number 9 spot. J.C. Romero, on in relief of Oswalt, will be in the 8-hole. 17th ball game for J.C. An earned run average of 3.18. 7 strikeouts and 11 in the 3rd. Well, solid outing by Oswalt. 7 innings, 1 run, 7 hits. Walked 2, hit 2. And wound up with 3 strikeouts.
Yeah, he got out of trouble for the most part. Any trouble that he was in, his defense was very good today, and he pitched well. But you know, one run in 7 innings, you'll take that every time from your starter.
Beltre singled his first time up. Had a swinging bunt his last time to the plate, and also grounded out to short. Spins out of the way, 1-1.
The other thing Roy did at home plate, 2 times called upon to sacrifice, twice got it done.
Yeah, the Phillies have had runners in scoring position today. They just haven't been able to convert. Beltre has struggled. He's hit well against right-handers. We saw that stat the first night, and has really struggled now against lefties. 2-1 the count. A liner to left. That one is off the 3 in 334, and it starts running down the left field line, and Beltre is on with a leadoff double.
Oh, Beltre, he can still really swing the bat. Look at, gee, he went to one knee on that thing and still hit a P. Look at that. You don't see a guy go to one knee that often and make that kind of contact and hit a ball that hard. Normally when they go to one knee, they're off balance. Tom said right off the 3 in 334. That thing had top spinner, it would have been deep into the seats and maybe hurt somebody.
10th double of the year for Beltre's second hit today. Moreland the hitter. And he grounds one foul. He's trying to pull it to the right side to get Beltre over to third.
Boy, do they ever want to get him over to third, because how big would another run look in this game?
Moreland drove in the only run of the day. That was a double the opposite way. He gets it over to the right side. That'll get Beltre over to third. 1 out. Well, Roy Oswalt retired the Rangers 1-2-3 just one time, and each time the Phillies pitchers do that, Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by the Xfinity HD Triple Play, your complete lineup for digital TV, lightning fast internet, and home phone. Charlie Manuel coming out to the mound. That's going to be it for J.C. Romero. So he faces 2, allows a double, and then gets 1 batter to ground out. So David Herndon will come in with the Phillies down 1-0 and the Rangers with the runner at third. This is an AT&T call to the bullpen here at Citizens Bank Park. We've got a pitching change. Was sent out to Lehigh Valley a couple weeks ago. He's on here in the top of the 8th with the Rangers up 1-0. A runner at third. The infield is in. Herndon's numbers here in the big leagues, a 9.28 run average. He was hit hard when he was up with the Phils. A 2 ERA down at Lehigh Valley. And a swing and a miss by the first batter he faces here, Mike Napoli. Napoli's 0 for 3. Third batter hit today by Phil's pitchers. Napoli's aboard and runners on first and third. And it brings Craig Gentry to the plate.
There's a decision for them now because this extra run is really important. Well, first of all, let's see what happens here. You see it hits him right in the back. It's easy for us to say, but that probably didn't hurt that much. This guy can really run, this Gentry, so you really can't play it for double play right now. See how the infield is? They still have to stay up because you have to think about the speed of the base of the batter right now, and this guy is tough to double, so they're going to keep the infield in.
The other thought too is Harrison's on deck. The pitcher spot is due up. They're going to pinch hit for him, and a squeeze is on. He bunts it. Oh man, I don't know how he got that bunt down. Herndon throws to first. Howard is there. The squeeze is successful as that ball was just heading right at Craig Gentry. That's impressive. It's 2-0 Rangers.
There's no way. And that's one of the things you try to do if you sense a suicide squeeze is throw it at the guy and make it hard for him to bunt. And that was an impossible pitch to bunt. Watch this. Squares. Here it comes. Total self-defense. That ball is right at his face. That took some courage.
Well, they're going to keep Harrison in the ball game with a 2-0 lead. So the sacrifice 1-3, and I wonder if that ball got a piece of his hand because they're looking at him right now in the dugout.
Could have. When you watch the expression on his face, it's like that thing is right at my face. Watch. Well, this side you might see it. You'll see it hit his hand. Right. They got him right on the finger. It's another good way to deaden it. Not the finger, but the ball and the finger. There's a kid who you said might be going back to the minor leagues pretty soon. Well, he may have done a heck of a job there to help his team win a game here this afternoon.
2-2 the count to Harrison. Harrison's hitless at 3 at bats. Rollins made a fabulous play on him last time. And he got him on strikes, so the inning is over, but the deficit is larger for the Phillies. A run on the suicide squeeze by Craig Gentry. We've played 7.5. Jimmy Rollins due to lead it off when we return. Citizens Bank Park, but don't be discouraged, fans, because there are some seats available for many of the upcoming games. We talked about this Wednesday against the Reds, how there are tickets still available. You can go to Phillies.com and check out what is available. And a reminder that there are always standing room only tickets that go on sale before the start of each ball game. And plenty of spots around the ballpark for you to walk around, stop, and watch the game. Plenty of happening places. I mean, those folks have found some standing room only tickets to their liking. And they've enjoyed this ball game. They haven't enjoyed the score, but still, it's a great place to come soak up the atmosphere. How about this? We thought there was a chance that Craig Gentry would be lifted from the game, but he's still in there after it looked like he got hit by a pitch that he bunted. Unbelievable. Let's give it Texas a 2-0 lead.
And that pitch was right at his face. If he bunts through that, he's unconscious, and there's a strike called on him.
Rollins takes a strike, right, because he didn't pull the bat back. He put the bat forward.
You bet he did. He was you bet he was making it. Let's put it this way. They looked for an attempt, and there was going to be an attempt there to save his face. But that hand-eye coordination. Look at this. This is just, look at that. Look at him follow it.
Look at the expression of fear.
And he knows it has him. Well, that just shows you the incredible hand-eye coordination involved in many of these guys that play this sport.
They're trying to get a souvenir there, Wheels.
Yeah.
So we send Sarge out to help him. 3-2 the count to Rollins.
Jimmy Rollins running the count deep here, trying to get on base.
Look at this. Look at this. Come on. Come on.
Keep trying.
Rollins in the air to left center field. Gentry's over. He has room. One out here in the 8th. Rollins 0 for 4 today. There we go.
Good job.
Some of Philadelphia's finest men in blue come over to help out.
Philly's best chance at a run. There's one of the Philadelphia policemen there.
He's probably happy that they didn't dangle anybody over the railing to pick up that ball. He figured he was there to help.
They weren't going to let that happen.
Valdez is 1 for 3. Excuse me, Will.
That's the closest time they came to scoring today, but they couldn't score Sardina from second base on that play. So Juan Samuel had to stop him at third, and then he was stranded. Well, they have a left-hander, right-hander ready just in case, but he came back to get Jimmy Rollins on that deep fly ball after going 3-1.
Yeah, Efley's the right-hander. Darren Oliver, the veteran's the lefty. Valdez serves that one to right, but Moreland comes in as it hangs up for him. And there are 2 outs.
Some of the things Harrison's done today, and one thing he's done is throw a lot of balls in the air. There's a strikeout on Ryan Howard. Here's a ground out here. But you go back over your scorebook today, and there are a ton of outs in the air. Big double play that he gets on Francisco. But the majority of outs thrown by him, his ball must be do something that, you know, they're getting under it or popping it up or hitting fly balls.
Polanco's 1 for 3 is one of the 5 hits for the Phillies. Grounded out in the 3rd when the Phillies had runners on 2nd and 3rd.
$13 outs in the air today.
And only 1 or 2 went to the track.
Right.
One Ibanez hit to center, went to the track.
And that ball Jimmy Rollins just hit was one of the hardest hit balls in the game. Polanco ran a deep count last time, then got himself out when he chased a high pitch and hit a fly ball to right.
Three and 2 the count now to Polanco. Trying to get on and bring the tying run to the plate.
Maybe wonder if Oliver would come in.
And a call, strike 3. Napoli wasn't sure. First he thought it was a strike, then he stopped. Polanco was heading up the first base line, and Harrison pitches a 1-2-3-8 in what is probably his final inning. He hasn't struck out a whole lot of guys, but he just got Polanco to finish up the 8th. And out of all 3 of the starting pitchers that the Rangers have thrown this weekend, the first 2 pitched well, but they suffered a loss. Harrison leads at 2-0 as we go to the 9th. David Herndon's still in there to face the top of the order. He comes in tight to Andrews. There's Harrison. The assumption is his day is done. Feliz is up and loosening in the pen. He's starting to talk. Slider for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, they have to be very, very happy with what they got out of him. Rechecking the book, he had 14 outs in the air today, which is normally not a good recipe to win a game in this ball, to have that many balls in the air. But in this case, he kept everybody in the ballpark.
Inside, 2 balls, 2 strikes to Elvis Andrews. David Herndon said he went down to AAA, and he said, you know, they looked at video and they came to decide that his hands were moving differently with the different assortment of pitches he was throwing. They'd be down for one, up for the other, and it kind of threw his motion off. So they decided to just keep his hands up at all times, and he thought that mechanical adjustment not only helped his velocity in his fastball, but the movement of his sinker and the movement of his slider.
They think he was tipping pitches?
I don't know if it was as much tipping pitches or he couldn't repeat his delivery all the time. See, his hands are high there, and that's where they are at all times now, whereas before he said he was dropping his hands a little low with some of his other pitches. So maybe he was tipping, but he also couldn't repeat his delivery. Now that's way above my head, but it kind of makes sense that, you know, if you can't repeat it, then you're going to have different arm angles and different strides to the plate.
Makes a lot of sense. And if you do different things with your hands and it's consistent, then you'll tip pitches. And boy, in this business, they pick that up fast down there.
A strike on the outside corner with a sinker.
That's what you're talking about with the hands held high, though. No matter whether he throws fastball, breaking ball, or changeup.
Yeah, and they don't drop all the way down when he goes into his motion. You know, they don't come to his waist and then he goes back up. He stays high at all times.
Well, he's thrown a couple ground balls here. Last inning, he came in, he hit a batter, and then the suicide squeeze where he almost hit another guy.
2 outs for Kinsler. 0 for 2. He's been hit by 2 pitches. Phillies will have 4, 5, and 6 due up in their half of the ninth. They'll be trailing, and they're trying to keep it at a 2-run deficit.
Facing a guy who's blown 2 saves for the first time in a row for the first time in his career, and who was a huge part of them going to the World Series last year was Feliz out of the bullpen.
Foul ball, 2-1. He's got pretty good movement on his sinker today.
Yeah, he always had a pretty good sinker, and they thought he had to get a better breaking ball, and he's thrown very few breaking balls.
Toward third. It turned out to be an easy hop for Polanco, and the side is retired. So nice job by Herndon. A 1-2-3 ninth after getting the 2 outs he needed in the 8th. And now as we go to the bottom of the ninth, is it Matt Harrison or the bullpen? It looks like it's going to be Harrison, and he'll face Ryan Howard first up for the Phils, then Ben Francisco, and finally Raul Ibanez. The Phils down 2. That it is Matt Harrison will be on to at least face Ryan Howard to start the home ninth. And Howard bunts. Foul. I guess he's thinking the element of surprise.
And to get the tying run to the plate.
Yeah.
But there certainly is an element of surprise there.
Well, one of the reasons why could be the numbers the Phillies have put up their last 9 games, particularly the numbers with runners in scoring position. 0-2 the count. So now all of a sudden Howard's in the hole.
Hey, we talked about his breaking ball, whether he could get it over to left-handed hitters. He's gotten it over to Ryan Howard all day.
Well, he's also gotten him on strikes twice. He came upstairs with that pitch, 1 away here in the ninth.
I wonder if there's just going to be one hitter. Ron Washington's down there talking to Mike Maddox. He's top stepping, as we talk about there. See Maddox and Ron Washington right there. And Ryan Howard strikes out on a high fastball.
Michael Young's on the stairs as well, as he Francisco takes one high. Maybe they'll allow the tying run to come to the plate before they make a switch. You think they're thinking his pitch count is somewhat manageable, that there's something of a confidence boost when a guy can finish a game?
Yeah, and they probably like what they see. I mean, he's still throwing hard, making his pitches. Last inning they ran some deep counts on him finally, but he came back and got two guys out who ran 3-2 counts.
3-0 the count. Left-handed hitting Ibanez on deck. Ball 4, and the tying run's coming to the plate.
And you have a right-handed pitcher in their closer, but his numbers against left-handed hitters are just outstanding. Feliz's number 161 left-handed hitters off him. So, you know, they don't mind going to him. In his career, left-handed hitters hitting 140 off a right-hander.
Well, a very slow walk out to the mound by Ron Washington. And there's the signal. So one guy who was acquired from the Braves will give way to another guy acquired from the Braves as Matt Harrison's afternoon has come to a close. 8 1/3, the winning run, or tying run, is coming to the plate for the Phils when we return. /postgame or hit us up on the PHL 17 Facebook page. John and Mike break down today's game on the Phillies postgame show live from Sugar House Casino. That's coming up next. Well, we go to the bullpen for the Rangers. Neftali Feliz, who was last year's Rookie of the Year in the American League. He had 40 saves, 4-3, a 2.73 earned run average. He's blown 2 saves this year, and they just came over the last week.
In Kansas City, the 2 games before they got here. He was not available on Friday and Saturday's games.
Matt Harrison went 8 1/3, 3 walks and 2 strikeouts.
WB makes a delivery of the game, a big insurance run, a suicide squeezer by Gentry, who just protected himself as much as anything. He wound up with that ball off his finger too, and almost right in his face. I mean, his heart had to be going really fast right there, and then he's thinking, I think my finger hurts too.
Well, Harrison will sit and watch and see if Feliz can get the final 2 outs. He's never faced anybody with the Phillies. Works from the first base side of the rubber and delivers high. They tried to make him a starting pitcher during spring training. That was the thought coming in, because all throughout his career he was basically a starter. He had some relief appearances in the minors, and Mike Maddox and the Rangers brass thought it would be good to make him a starter. It just didn't work out. To the right side, Chris Davis just in at first, makes the play. They get Francisco at second. Andrews went diving back to tag the bag, but he already had it, according to Andy Fletcher. And there are 2 outs.
Well, he didn't think he did, or he wasn't sure, and that's why he went back and tagged the bag, because Major League player isn't going to do that unless he thinks he missed it. They just put Davis in the game. Wow, if he brushed that, it would have. I don't know that he did, but then he makes a tag, right?
Yeah,
no, he never touched it.
No, you don't think so?
I think his foot went right over top of it, and he knew it because he didn't feel it. That's why he went back that fast. Because, you know, you don't fake that. You don't react to that. You don't react that way unless you think you missed the bag, in my opinion.
Well, you're right about that because he's really the only guy that can tell definitively whether he has it.
Well, watch his reaction here. Now, if he does or he doesn't think he does. Now, it looked like it went right over top of the bag, and in his opinion, I got to get back there.
Well, now the Phillies are down to their final out with the tying run at the plate. Ross Globe.
And if he touched it with the tip of his toes right there, I don't think he felt it.
Load a little late on that pitch. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. Mentioned Feliz was acquired by the Rangers in the Mark Teixeira deal. He's just 23 years old. He turned 23 on the 2nd of May. Beat out Austin Jackson for the Rookie of the Year award. You go back, I was stunned to see how many points or how many votes Jackson received. Jackson received 98 votes. Feliz received 122.
They're playing that no doubles, don't hit it over my head defense in the outfield. It was interesting in that ball that Ibanez just hit. They were playing off the runner at first base and took a little bit of the hole away, and it helped them.
3-1 the count to Globe. Dominic Brown on deck to pitch hit.
Well, he got a nice, easy delivery with a fastball there. It kind of jumps out of his hand. Well, now they'll definitely play all the way off. 3 balls, 2 strikes. See where Davis, the new first baseman, is.
Ibanez will be off and running. There he goes. And we'll do it again as Globe fouls it away.
Keeps challenging him. He's trying to stay away too. You notice all these fastballs are away from Ross Globe, and that's why he's fouling them off to the left side.
On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, the Phillies led the division by a game and a half when play began today. They now lead it by 2 as the Rays have shut out the Marlins. James Shields has pitched well this year for Tampa. 3-2 the count. Ibanez is off and running to left center field. Murphy is there. He's under it, and he puts it away. And the Rangers have taken the final game of this 3-game series as they shut out the Phillies behind Matt Harrison and Neftali Feliz by a final score. This stretch of poor offense for the Phillies continues this afternoon. They managed just 5 hits. Now they've scored 3 runs or less in 9 straight games, which is the longest current streak in the majors. So they take 2 of 3. They win the series from the Rangers. But Texas, behind our Chevrolet player of the game, Matt Harrison, well, they're able to salvage the final game of the series, Wheels.
Guy pitches into the 9th inning today. Young left-hander Matt Harrison did a very good job. Strikeout. There's a ground out. The Phillies had a shot at him one time with a base hit out to right field. Weren't able to score the run on that there. He gets a double play on the bat of Ben Francisco. A strikeout called there. Another high fastball, and also 14 of his outs were in the air today, and he kept the ball in the ballpark.
So 8 1/3 for Matt Harrison. He gets his 4th victory of the year. The Rangers win it by a final of 2-0. We'll be back to talk more about it right after this.